So y'all, listen. We're gonna get into Beyond the 11th Gate, and I did not know what to call this because I'm like the topic that's at hand. Anything beyond the 11th Gate is something that's out of the normal, out of the norm, kind of beyond people's comprehension. People are seeing it play, but they're not understanding what exactly is going on. And so Midnight Metanoia is more so discussing things that change, that needs changing and going to inspire some type of change. And I do feel like all the Midnight Metanoias that we've had, some type of change is going to come about those cases. So this is something kind of what they consider a deep dive. And of course, I'm going to try to keep this under 30 minutes because there's so much we can go into. But I want to keep this very simple and very to the point. And of course, we're going to do, before we jump in, we're going to do our introduction. Shall we?
Secrets will be shared with you. Only what we want to explore. You have no say over what I do in my time. You know all of your dirty secrets. You have been dishonest. Your secret kept for so long. The secrets of the girls will always be revealed.
I crack myself up at that motherfucking introduction. Oh my God. Okay. So, you guys, like I said, I'm going to try to keep this under 30 minutes. I'm going to go over some things that some of you may know, some of you may not. I want to say this, y'all, right? Like, I am not really like into that whole pop culture, and maybe I need to get into that because I feel like there's a lot of energies that can be dissected and interpreted. And, a lot of you want to hear my opinion. I don't hear about certain cases until you guys bring it to my attention. Like, I knew nothing about Luigi Mangione. I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong, but I knew nothing about this man until literally I'm minding my business in the grocery store and people are coming in celebrating. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? They're like, yeah, And I'm like, where the fuck has I been at? And I'm clearly not in touch with reality because I do feel like the news in a lot of places are stages, right? Their job is to prepare you for something deeper than what the average person can ever comprehend. And so I do want to get into this before I jump into this and present to you. I kind of put stuff on a PowerPoint, and this is what I did a couple of days ago, and I kind of added stuff on recently, and then I sent it to myself to my other email. And so I want to go into this. We're going to be discussing secret societies. We're going to be discussing organizations. Of course, you could do your own research about who these organizations are. Of course, all things are alleged to proven otherwise as well. Um, but of course, I have to maintain my protection, my safety. So there's certain things I will not go to. I will not go through. I will not go into detail about. And if you know, you know. If you don't know, you'll figure it out, right? And so, either way, secret societies are organizations that operate in secrecy, often with unique traditions, symbols, and goals. Some aim to influence politics, while others focus on spiritual and/or social matters. Okay. Now we've talked about this before. Okay. We've been having interferences with secret organizations since the beginning of time. From even when the Europeans were exiled out of Europe and came to America, there was a secret organization that protected them. Some of them were witches, some of them were not. We won't go into that though, because like I said, that goes to some very deep things. But I want to stick with the current um, energies, right? The current um, and I don't even know how I'm going to start this out. I'm just going to go based off of what I have on my notes. Like I said, we could tap some things in. All this came about, you guys, through spiritual interpretation. All this came about excuse me, all this came about through me meditating, tapping in, feeling and sensing the energy of, because we know that when Donald Trump comes into the picture, it seems to be some type of show. And so we knew that, allegedly, girl, this gets very deep, y'all. And I want to keep this very light and I want to keep this very, on top. Because there's been a lot of rumors, right? People talking on the YouTube streets about them coming after Mr. LM because he allegedly had footages or documentations that could mess some people up. One of these readers were talking about how he has footage or documents that can actually mess a lot of people up, right? I never said anything about the Epstein list and all this other good shit, y'all. Right? So what I'm gonna say, and as you can see on this PowerPoint, what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put out information, and it's up to you to decide if you want to look into it further, or we can touch it down the line. Okay. So I want to go into the president, the one that's going to be in office, you know, um, within the next 30 days, right? 31 days. Okay. And so just a little background. Okay. Donald Trump's grandfather, Frederick, okay, or Fried Rich, okay, Trump was born in Bavaria, okay? And Bavaria is actually Germany, right? And I believe it's Southeast Germany. But allegedly, he escaped Bavaria to not be consecrated, right? And it's not consecrated, consent. Let me see, hold on. Conscripted, right? Conscription. It's something along these lines, John. You guys can look this up. Basically, it's being drafted. And this is how the story starts. He was evading, he was evading being drafted. So he left and he became an American citizen. He actually settled in the Seattle area and he was in the what they call the Klondike Rush. Yeah, when he left this country, Germany, he was only 16 years old. Not only did he start a restaurant as a teenager, he also started a brothel for minors. And when I say minors, I mean people who dig up coal and stuff. This was a underage man in the late 1800s, y'all, opening up brothels, prostitution, and that's why it's no shock that Donald Trump wanted to shut down prostitution and escorting in 2017. If y'all don't remember, that's why he wanted to get up on it because, and not just that, because like I said, I'm just going to throw things out and you can go do your own connections and make the dot shot because it literally took me 3.5 days after getting my spiritual insights of words and acronyms and this, I was literally looking up things and I couldn't even find this one in particular, one of the groups I'm going to talk about. And I'm sure you could find them. Okay, I'm pretty sure you could dig up and find these people. Like I said, we're going to speak with acronyms. We're going to go into little, you know, lingos and subliminal teas. And so he decided to go back to um, Bavaria, right? And, Bavaria, if you want to be tongue corrected. And so he decided to go back and, he gets his wife. He brings her back to America. They decide, she got homesick, his wife, um, Elizabeth Christ. This is not all, by the way, this is not, coincidental and stuff, honey. Both dying in the Gemini um, energies. And Frederick was actually a Pisces. And he actually died 32 years before Donald Trump was even born. But either way, they go back over there and they basically are told to leave. So they end up coming back to America after selling all their assets and so forth and so forth. And then, that's when Donald Trump's father was born. He has an older sister. She went back with the mom and Frederick over there to, Germany. And then they end up coming back. And then Elizabeth ended up having Donald Trump's father. And then the legacy builds up from there, right? And it just goes on and on and on and on. And so either way, every European secret society have been established during some type of war, right? Okay. Like I said, you could connect these dots the way you want to connect these dots, but I'm sure the information is out there. And so either way, Donald Trump, and like I said, this is all alleged. I'm going to go into what spirit conveyed to me, and I'm interpreting what I got. Donald Trump's grandfather was showed the way, the ropes of how to do things, how to gain monetary value. And he was taught by a secret organization. Now, in order for this young man to be initiated into the secret organization during that time, now they have a whole nother way of getting people organized and getting people in because everybody have the ability to join the military or the army nowadays. So they have their ways about, there's different levels to that as well. And every organization or every secret society has a fathering organization. And they also have, sister and brother organizations. And some of them even are parent organizations. So it's the lineage, right? And even going into our government, it's considered a form of organization. And so Donald Trump's grandfather, Frederick, was taught some things from people who were a part of these organizations. And he had to be sworn into secrecy by joining. He would have to join, to be drafted into the military. And I believe it's during the World War I era, or they're about to get into World War I. He ended up evading that. He didn't evade, and it's all alleged. He didn't evade being drafted because he was scared to join. He was afraid of blah, 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 blah. He basically betrayed. He became a traitor to this organization. And then whatever happened is this organization ended up becoming a parent organization to other organizations who are in America, Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world, including Africa. So going into a lot of things that we see in modern day, a lot of this stuff is organized or is affiliated with organizations behind the scenes. And to the mundane world, it looks petty. It looks like, oh, they want to take down P. Diddy, because he betrayed the Illuminati or he betrayed, Clive Davis. But Clive Davis is a child or he is a younger connection to older organizations, right? And so there's always war between these organizations. And even going into a lot of these modern day spiritualists, they have a lot of these organizations behind them, right? And it's why after a certain time period, you started seeing a lot of distractions from a lot of spiritual people because people are connected to those organizations. And then, of course, people got, led into other countries. And that's the other thing that I was kind of thinking about as well. One of these YouTubers uh, left the country because they did not want to pay taxes. And a lot of these organizations are known for doing that, right? They don't feel like they should pay taxes. But I was kind of curious to know, how did this person leave the country with a criminal record? I could have sworn felons cannot get a passport. I was like, how did this person leave the country considered a convicted felon? Because they are part of an organization that allowed them, who pulled favors, to allow them to leave this country and to get protected in the country that they're in. Now, like I said, I'm going to drop some tea and you can do your own research because, like I said, I tried to do some research on some of this stuff and it was just a lot. Okay. And so we're going to throw out several things. Okay. The YKZ secret organization. Now, Donald Trump has his own organization called the Trump Organization. YKG is one of the organizations that are the parenting organization of Trump's organization, right? Now, publicly, Trump's organization, like I said, this is all alleged, is a real estate organization that has a lot of money behind it, right? But also publicly, that this organization has filed bankruptcy multiple times. But they have been saved and they've been taught the way of how to hide things by other organizations. Now, YKZ is an Asian organization, as so is the Black Dragon organization or Black Dragon Society. And like I said, all this came to me through spiritual interpretation. Okay? YKZ is all over Asia. They also is connected to California, okay, and also Thailand, okay. And these people run a lot of things from the porn business to trafficking of some sort. Now, it was a rumor years ago, y'all, and I tried to find this footage. Right, I saw this footage maybe like I want to say about 2017, because this ties into the Kanika Jenkins stuff. When the Kanika Jenkins story came out, people were somehow sort of bringing up Donald Trump's hotels and how there were secret under tunnel or underground tunnels, and they remember staying at the Trump Tower, and this happened and that happened. And I tried to find these footage, y'all. They're not out there no more. So somehow, some way, they got deleted, they got hidden, because nothing is deleted, but they got hidden to where you cannot look it up no more. And so either way, YKZ, they're affiliated with that type of crime. And like I said, they fund it because Donald Trump is also considered a traitor. This is why these organizations have worked with lower people, we call them minions, to try to take out Donald Trump, because of course he's up there, but he's not up there. He's not up. He's not high ranking like his father and grandfather was when it comes to these organizations. His father and his grandfather gave these organizations more collateral, right? So the secret exchanges, Donald did not give up as much as they gave up. And so these organizations, they like to create the problem and they like to also create the solution. And so they promised to help this man get at the top of his game. And because he didn't do what he was supposed to do, they really didn't help him. And so he decided to connect with other organizations. And this is how he even got into the politics and even became connected to even being able to run for the president, right? And now that he's in this position, these other organizations are coming for him. And so they're sending people after him, very similar to John F. Kennedy, except we're going to keep it on Donald Trump. And so, either way, you guys, the YKZ secret organization and the group that Donald Trump's grandfather, Frederick, and there's something that comes up with an Anna something, right? They call themselves the Black Hooded Men. And I tried to find the Black Hooded Men on Google, and it kept talking about Black secret societies, right? And I'm like, no. From what I've seen, they call themselves Goglin or Goglemore or Globlemen, Goggles. It's GA something. And yeah, I was really trying to like type this in, and like I said, it's not coming up for me. And I'm like, I'm willing to stand corrected, but I know what I seen. I know what I interpreted. And so these people, their identity is very concealed. They're very secretive about what they do. Like you won't even see people in their lower branch doing things. But this is the organization that Donald Trump's grandfather was connected to. And these are the people that he owed blood to. Going into the Black Dragon Society, you guys, they were during the 1700s fighting against the Russian Empire. Now, the Black Dragon Society are Japanese based, and their goal was to keep Russian Empire out of Asia, and that war is still going on. It's not discussed, but it's still going on because we know that there's Russian mobs. We know there's every mobs, different cultures, different. There's mobs of all sorts, but that war is still going on. It has not stopped, and we know that Donald Trump has connections to the Russian government. And I was going to say Russian mob, but it is what it is. Okay, let me pull this back up. Hold on, the slide got closed out. And this is my second time doing this to y'all. The first time the videos, was doing some weird shit. Okay, so where is it at? We got Soul Manifesto. Okay, so where is it at? Where is it at? Okay. Okay, here we go, man. Here we fucking go, man. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Here we go. So either way, Donald Trump has ties to Russia. Now this is where we get into the Luigi Mangione situation because I feel like he have ties to the YKG. Now, mind you, I just pulled something up today, right? And y'all, a lot of you are in tune. A lot of you are spiritually inclined. A lot of you could tap into energy. I have no reason to make up anything for any purpose outside of educating. If I was to make up anything, right, it would be to educate or to help people level up in some way. I have nothing to gain or lose from doing this video that I'm doing right now. I did not find out about Louis Mangione's Asian culture obsession or like until today, literally 30 minutes before getting on this live broadcast. And it said that he loved the Japanese culture. Now, mind you, when I did the video about Donald Trump, the first video I loved again, I brought up Luigi Mangione and all the good stuff. It was already coming to me that the YKG organization is connected. Louis Mangione is connected to that, regardless of his family being connected to any type of mobster tie, mafia tie. He's connected personally because that's what they have in common as well, is that they're considered traitors. So they were brought up in a certain way, in a certain fashion, to be a certain way, Frederick Trump, and he he turned his back on his brethren, who he's supposed to be connected to. Donald Trump did the same thing, and Luigi did the same thing. And they're coming after him now. It's that. It has nothing to do with anything else outside of trading, going against the rules, and doing whatever the fuck you wanted to do. And that's how that works. So YKG also, like I said, stand behind the Trump organization. YKZ has funded that organization. And this is why secretly, because they are the problem and they're the solution, people have the idea that Donald Trump was into some weird pedophilia type of shit because he's connected to the organization. And like I said, this is all alleged. Allegedly. Okay? Until proven otherwise. Allegedly. Okay? And also going into the Black Dragon Society, y'all. Listen to this. The Black Dragon Society had connections with Pan Africanism. Uh, excuse me, Pan Africanism. The Ethiopian Pacific Movement, okay, is connected to the Black Dragon Society. Mind you, the Black Dragon Society was one of the enemies of the Russian Empire. Donald Trump has connection to the Russian Empire. The idea that there was black folks coming out, because like I said, there's big brothers and there's little brothers. There's big sisters, little sisters. The idea that people are coming out claiming that they support this man, they're all paid. And they're not paid from him because we could trace that money back. They could trace the money back to see if he actually paid them out. Because allegedly Kamala paid her people, all the good stuff. But it wasn't paid through him. It was paid through other ties, secret movements, secret exchanges. And that kept coming up for me. Secret exchanges, secret handshakes, secret deposits, secret movements. And it's another reason too why this man has been dipping and motherfucking dodging. Okay? And y'all, when I tell y'all this man being in office, you are about to see some great things. And when I say great things, we're going to keep it there. You can assume whatever I mean by that. There's going to be a lot of things unfolding, a lot of things being turned over, a lot of things being uprooted. And this has a lot to do with organizational ties, communities, clubs, societies fighting for their stance in this world. And in this world, meaning the world that's beyond the modern day. Baby, we are like game pieces in a bigger motherfucking game. We're in a game that we don't even know nothing about the motherfucking game. We don't know about the rules. And to even thinking about it right now, I have a sense of like we're in a stadium and there's 1,000 yards in this fucking stadium. And there's just bigger people, like the levels, right? The levels of the concession stands are the powers at hand. And it goes up, and you cannot see these people because they're so far away from your perception. Like this goes very deep. This deeper than our understanding. And even going into P. Diddy, right? Because this all ties into that. All this is coming forward right before Donald Trump won the election. Allegedly, they're best friends, right? Allegedly, they're good friends. Donald Trump and P. Diddy. But they're not good friends because they're good friends and they ate at each other's house. It's an organizational tie. And that's what that is. These are organizational ties. Going into Luigi Mangione. This is why um, P. Diddy's attorney, his wife, is the attorney for Luigi Mangione. This is all connected back to Donald Trump. This is all connected to YKZ. This is all connected to things being old. Another thing too, they said that Luigi Mangione, and you guys can look this up, this is on paper trail, has connections to California. No other state in California does YKG have connection to. Okay? No other state in America YKZ has connection to but California. So of course he does. And then I try to say that later down the line, Luigi Mangione started to criticize the Japanese culture by saying it was too this and that, blah, blah, blah. All that was a front. All that was a front, baby. You got to be a little rebellious, and he was trying to be a little rebellious. But he's down for the motherfucking program, as they all are. And shit, this is another reason why you'll never be able to shake hands with these people. And even going into his news got leaked and shit. Remember that? Girl, they talking about his dick is all out on Twitter, and he's talking about he got a big dick and shit. Girl, YKZ is with pornography. They're one of the big movers of pornography. It gets very deep, y'all. It goes into a lot of tea. What came up for me, like I said, a lot of the supporters of Donald Trump are paid members. When we're at these rallies and you're seeing these people protesting for him, and Donald's gonna win, they're all hired to influence. These people are very powerful when it comes to influencing people. These are psychologists. These are people who know how sociologists. They know how the social standards work. And so they do certain things to trigger certain people. And this is what we're seeing, y'all. This is what we're seeing unfold. Okay. Already talked about the Trump organization is funded by bigger organizations. That's why this man has filed bankruptcy multiple times and he still managed to be a very wealthy man. Okay. And of course, they're going to say, well, tax evasion. Okay. 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 Except rumors of the underground tunnels in the Trump Towers. European Sikh societies were established during the to some era, some war era. So World War I, World War II, and then like I said they started to change things up because anybody could join these things. They were starting to draft and pull people in who had no connections. There was no inheritance because all this is about inheritance, y'all, right? Going into secret societies and even rights and stuff, right? Whether it's black, white, it doesn't matter. There has to be some type of lineage, like your grandfather, grandmother has to be ordained into it. Let me say this too. I know someone back in the day and I kind of shared this with y'all too, right? Because this ties into experience and you know from what I was told by other people who who were directly taught these things, right? In order to be initiated into the real organizations of Freemasonry and Eastern Star, et cetera, et cetera, and there's so many of these organizations, there has to be some type of lineage connection, meaning that they have to have some type of book or record of like your grandmother, grandfather, great grandmother, great grandfather being in this organization. And if you're not lineagely connected to this organization, you're what they called a borrowed brother or sister, which meaning that you have access to some celebrations, you have access to some knowledge, but they don't share all the secrets with you. There's no secret. You're not getting no secret handshake. You're not getting no secret lovey dovey dovey gubby. You're not getting invited to the back end parties because a lot of people, I was a part of the fraternity and I'm never. You might be borrowed, and it's also even going to the spirituals on here who says she's boule and shit. I'm like, you might be a borrowed boule. You might be borrowed, sis, because there ain't no way that you're real part that because you can really, girl. Real estate, gambling, some type of money organization, laundering. Like this is usually what type of connections people that are tied to this have. And of course, they wash the money, they clean their hands, allegedly, right? It's all alleged. We're just talking. What do I know? And girl, sometimes things are old. And you don't want to double cross these people neither. Because there's a lot of times where they come for like people, innocent people. And that's what I was trying to tell people too. I was trying to tell people these organizations are very similar to gangs, right? You have Bloods who are black, you got Crips who are black. They're both black, but they still fight each other, right? It's about territory, right? And there's other things involved in that, but that's what it's about. Same thing with these black secret societies, same things with these white secret societies. They will fight each other. When we see these brutality situations, when we saw the police attack these people and we were all like, oh my God, y'all, we got to step up. I'm in fear of my life. Like I said, I go back to, and I think this is a very real situation but they knew what they were doing. They put this news out there. I go back in the day where there was segregation, that whites and blacks couldn't drink and eat together. They couldn't sit together. They couldn't watch the same movies together. They couldn't go eat at the same ice cream parlor together. They couldn't ride on the same bus together. They couldn't play at the same park together. And these people managed to survive. They managed to become productive citizens to society. And of course, some people lost their lives because this is what happens. There's always a sacrifice when it comes to leveling up and evolving. But collectively, these people still got ahead. They still solved some type of problem, right? And so the idea that it's a white or black thing, when we know that there's even black cops that's killed black men, we know that there's even white cops who kill white men. And this goes deeper than you being a civilian. Baby, do you not know they have systems, all alleged to proven otherwise? They have systems where they run your name and they can see everything about you. They can see you're the great great grandson of Thomas Jefferson. You don't think they have the ability to see all this stuff? You don't think when they send you to court, because sometimes they'll make you go to court for the dumbest things, you don't think they take you to court to see if you know what you know? You don't think they pulling you into that court office just to see if you know what you know or what they think you know? Oh well, they might know some tea. Let's double check. Let's try the motherfucker. Let's give him a trial. See if he's gonna be smart like his motherfucking grandfather was. Let's see the tea. And that's what it comes down to. So it's never really about innocent people being grabbed and things being done. Because girl, there will be listen, y'all, this will be happening on a greater scale. There's always something with something. There's always something deeper at hand than what's being presented. And you have to understand that. And I know everybody's not going to understand that. That's why I move different. That's why I move with certain people. I don't deal with certain people day to day because I think that certain people are brain dead. And that's just that. I think they don't see the bigger picture. They'll claim to be spiritually awakened, but they're not feeding their ancestors. They're not feeding their spirits because spirits will let them know what is what and how is how and Tom, Dick, and Harry and Jim, Bill, Doe, whatever. I was trying to be cute, but girl, that's what it comes down to. There's a lot with a lot. There's a lot of trafficking. There's a lot of sexual tease on the lower levels, on the intermediate levels, on the advanced levels. A lot of people got their hands in a cookie jar, and some people are not talking about these allegations because they're afraid. They're afraid they're going to lose everything. I cannot find, as a side note, and I'm going to be done, I got served with a cease and desist um, letter a couple of years ago. And, I was telling a story on YouTube, and the story wasn't about a particular person. I just kind of went into it because I was gagging. I was gagging what PayPal did, y'all. Because let me tell you, let's just talk about how scandalous this fucking raggedy and platypus goat ass bitch is. Okay, because we're not saying on that, so bitch, what? Send me another sister fucking desist. Deceased and desist, bitch. How about that? Okay? And so either way, this lady came to me so afraid for her life. She was so afraid for her life and her well being and her legacy to where she was even thinking that personal people outside of her was going to get harmed. And of course, I was thinking to myself, right, in this moment, I was like, damn, I feel a little special because it's like out of all the people they could have reached out to, what made them come to little old me for spiritual help and guidance, right? They could have hit up everybody. And I'm sure everybody asked that. What about me? Or what did I do? What did I do? Well, some people be begging for the fame. They be begging for the notoriety. And some people just falls in their lap, right? Some people beg to work with artists. Some people, do a lot of stuff to get people's attention. They go book shows. I'm not saying, but I'm saying they book shows to go to, celebrity TV shows and shit. They go become extras on reality shows, hoping that the celebrity's going to connect with them. And then, oh, hi, I do readings. Can I be a reader? And the spirit, and the celebrity's like, no, thank you. I'm not into that shit, whatever. But other people, we just so happen the people run into us or they find us, or I don't know how that happens, right? I never really even, you know, said and thought about it. Like, well, how did they find me and what did they do? Because I don't know nobody. I don't be following people. I don't be clicking on people. I don't be tapping on people. I don't got viral videos. So how did they even find me? But she was so afraid of her life, y'all. And she shared a lot of things with me. And something that kind of stood out and that I will always think about is that how can you be in the public eye, but you're running for your life? Right? Like, how could you be public, right? And people see you, people hear you. You have commentary, commentation. You have videos. You have people know, like people know where you're at. People know what you're doing. How are you? How are you running for your life, but you're public? And that's when I found out about organizations and exactly how they do what they do. And even going into my thing too, because I was thinking this too, and this just came up right now, that that's probably how me and this person connect because the organization is very different, but the organization I was a part of, I was being gang stalked. I was being harassed. I was being watched. Every step, everything I did, it was real disturbing. It drove me crazy. That's what made me go see my first therapist because I was like, baby, what's going on here? You know what I mean? People, I'm randomly going to people like, is this a spiritual thing that I'm randomly going to grocery stores and, oh, hey, I know you. And then, girl, kick town people, and I'm not cutting in. But people from the mountains and shit lusting after me, I'm just like, how is this even possible? Like, bitch, what would make a brown skinned tranny? Back then, I was wearing synthetic wigs and shit. What would make my ass become appealing to you? Where the fuck you come from? Me and my sister, we were at Walmart, y'all. This is about 2000 motherfucking 8, 2000 motherfucking 9. And there was a cowboy man at Walmart. And we always hear this story because my sister's like, girl, I was about ready to get some shit. It was so weird. This man was so intrigued by me, y'all, where he was just like, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, I want to take you home. Here's my number. And I was just sitting there thinking, y'all, that whole time, like there were so many girls who looked like him, blonde hair, blue eyes, had on cowgirl hats and shit that he could have went for. What was he so into me for? What was exciting about me that he wanted? And it really was making me think that was the organization people sending people to stalk me and harass me. Y'all, like I said, it was traumatizing. Y'all, and there was even police reports made several times because I was like, what the fuck is going on? And so either way, and I don't want to get too deep into that because it was very traumatizing and triggering for me. And this why I'm a very private person. I don't trust many people, personally. Business wise, I don't care, but personally, I'm not that type of girl. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not that type of girl, and I probably won't ever be. Right? That's trauma that I choose to heal from, but to leave it where it's at and keep it there. I don't want to deal with people or anything that's going to trigger that. And so when I met this, one of your favorite entertainers, I was like, well, maybe that's the T because she also had that type of abuse. But then they kind of like handed her over to other people, and then they act like they were in love with her, and then it became an abusive type of thing. And then it was, well, I need you to do some spiritual work to, detach me from these energies and cleanse these energies for me. And y'all, it was like, whoa, like exciting but nerve wracking at the same time. So I was like, girl, here I am protecting myself, get my help, get my protection from people on low levels and high levels, and then spiritually. And then here I'm going to help you do the same thing. And then to kind of be betrayed like that, it was like, damn, girl. And then, of course, like even going into the money that was taking, it was like, girl, you could have wiped your ass that money 20 times over, probably. But it was, you were trying to teach me a lesson. And of course, Celeste didn't do a fuck ass thing. That's why you just like send that cease and desist. Okay? Cease and desist fucking letter. Because you said, oh, this bitch might be talking too much. And then now Tom, Hank, and Mario gonna know that I'm seeking help and now they're gonna really get me together. Well, it hasn't happened yet. Because clearly you still, kicking and thriving. And not saying I want it to happen. But clearly it hasn't happened yet. And also on top of that, I'm still waiting for, because the people, girl, stories are coming out about people. I wonder if her story gonna ever come out. Because the minute that story come out, bitch, I'll be the first one over there. Babe, what's up? What's going on? Who you doing? I'll be the first one as soon as her story come out. Because allegedly there's some things going on with, you know, there was some things going on with P Diddy a little bit too with this person allegedly. Okay, allegedly this person, right? I could be making all this up. Who knows? I don't know. But the other people, I'm like, are they ever gonna come out? Is they ever gonna be brought out? Is there gonna be a high profile situation on them? Because these are very high profile people. These are international people too. Are their stories gonna ever come out? Are you ever gonna be in court to testify against them? Because baby, like I said, wherever the court case gonna be, I'm gonna be there. I want to be right there in the courts, in what they call it, the watcher. When you come and watch the court case and all that, unless it's gonna be private, but then that's how I'm gonna let the judge know I need to go because little Miss Peggy Sue hit me up with some badu badu dadu and said that she didn't need to help her. So baby, I think I should be a part of the case too. I think I should be brought into the case as well. I don't think I should be brought to testify because I didn't witness it. It was all he say, she say. But I definitely think I have a right to be right there and look her right in her motherfucking eye and say, you raggedy and platypus built ass bitch. With all due respect. Okay? Okay? With all due respect, babe. Okay? Anyway, y'all, that's it. Okay? There's a lot going on. Luigi Mangione. There's a lot going on. Donald Trump. There's a lot going on with the people that tried to take him out. Hawaiian, Soviet connected. Scottish rites of passages, Black Dragons, YKGs, NAACPs. I mean, girl, this all go hand in hand, girl. And then the glag girl. Listen, we're gonna find out what this is, y'all. Listen, I'm not done. I'm gonna find out gangolin, I don't know. And then I'm like, it could be anything, German, Scottish, because that's his blood. Donald Trump's blood is German and Scottish. So, I'm like, it's something along those T's. And I was even thinking it's two for a quick second. And I'm like, I don't know how true that would be neither. But there was something that came out with Donald Trump having some type of connection with Chris Jenner. Like, girl, listen, like I said, we listen, we're not gonna get into that. That's gonna get into some very deep tea. I don't really care to get into that like that. I just wanted to come through because I did bring up very slightly politely about the connections between the assassination of John F. Kennedy and the attempts of Donald Trump being taken out. Out of all the attempts, I do feel like there was only you know one, maybe two authentic. I think the other one was just a stage situation. And then also going into Elon Musk, y'all, not to mention Elon Musk, he's connected to one of these organizations. And I always tell this to people as well, right? And this is all alleged or proven otherwise, right? My understanding of celebrities' net worth and celebrities' value is not it's not only physical money, right? Because they could be worth $1 billion, but they don't have access to even 100,000. And it's not because the $1 billion is just a fake number or it's a property and blah 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 blah. It's that this is about investments, right? You have people who own these figures allegedly, and they bank on these figures. So what can this person bring to the table? Well, I have this key player. Okay, she's an up and coming artist. I see her net worth of being possibly $2 billion within the next 10 years. We're gonna divide this up. We're gonna break this down. But first, we're gonna pull her in as this, and when she's doing this, she's gonna be the face of this. But behind the scenes, she's gonna be ABCDFG, and then that's how that goes down. So this is not them being a billionaire because they have $1 billion on hand or they got $1 billion in their account. That means that the organization has a money tie over them that's worth $2 billion, which means if something happens to them, whether it's good or bad, the organization gains 2 billion or they lose 2 billion. And that's what it comes down to. So the same thing with Elon Musk. Y'all, oh, he's one of the world richest men. Girl, he's not richer than any of these. Girl, listen. He's not richer than any of these. He cannot overstep his father. That's it. And we're not talking about his birth father. We're talking about the organizations that made him who he is. He cannot overstep their net worth. If they're worth billions of dollars, he cannot be worth billions of dollars. What they're saying is he has a piece, the equity. He's an equity to that organization. And his equity is $2 billion. His equity is $10 trillion. Whatever the case they say he's worth. And that's how that works. And so the idea that, oh, I'm coming in, I'm saving him, he was about to be assassinated, it made me want to stand behind him. Girl, y'all part of the same organization. And if he win, you win. If he lose, you lose. And your leaders, allegedly, got you on the block, Mr. Kentucky. Mr. Kentucky. They got you on the block. Because you been fucking around with they maids and shit. They prostitutes. Azalea Banks, i.e. No shade, allegedly. They come for you. You on the block anyway, girl. They said before you can even tap into these robotic vans you got coming out, that you got to build your equity up, bruh. That's what they said. Mhm. Like I said, allegedly. Well, I mean, who am I? I'm just a bitch that talk to myself. You know what I mean? I just talk to myself, girl. I talk out of my ass. I talk out of my neck. I talk to myself. Myself tell myself shit. That's it. What do I know? Who do I know? How do I know? Who's YKZ? Who's the Black Dragon Society? Who's the Ethiopian Pacific Movement? Who's the Pan Asianism? Who's the Pan Africanism? Who's the Secret Ties? What is the Trump Tower? Okay, what is it? Who is Donald Trump? Who is Luigi Mangione? Who is California Ties? What is Japanese culture? You start the question like shit. Who is Frederick Trump? What is Bavaria? What is Germany? Who is Germany? How did that even come about? Who named it Germany? There's a lot of questions with a lot of answers that some people get, some people won't get. Like I said, that's it. I want to see if there's anybody in here that's not, baby. We gonna end it. We gonna end it. We gonna end it. We gonna end it. Ow! Okay, listen. There's people watching, but ain't nobody commenting. Good. I gotta go. Anyway, y'all. That's it. Been on the game. I think I'm gonna do another part, and we're gonna go over Luigi Maggioni. We're gonna do a deeper dive on this character because he is a player for a bigger thing. And this is what I want to say too, because I know someone personally, and I'm not going into them, right? I'm not going to talk about who and what they are, but they were afraid of a lot of stuff, y'all, right? Like back in the day, right? Like, I sit back, I observe things, right? And I'm always asking questions, right? Because some things doesn't make sense to me, and I think it's because I'm not meant to make sense of it. But when I see things play out in front of me, right? I'm like questioning it. Like, what? Why is this so important? Why am I experiencing this? Why am I not experiencing this? What type of parallel, universe this is happening in, right? Because people think that parallel universe is something that's outside of our world, outside of the norm. When in reality, even in this plane, we have parallel universes. There are experiences that are taking place right here, right now. The crazy thing about it is, y'all, I play, Fortnite out of, all the games I play. I love Fortnite. And the idea that there's a world and you play this game, you get taken out, and then the people are still playing in that same world, but then you get taken out, you start your game all over, and you're playing in the exact same world that they're playing in, but you don't see these people. You're playing with a whole new role, a whole new character of people. I feel like this is what it is like in this world. And I think that a lot of people who are not in sense of reality or who are depicted as not being sense of reality, I feel like somehow, some way they get caught up in the time frames or the timelines. And so even right now, the idea that we're here right now, we're conscious in this moment, but our exact same energy and frequency is also having another experience in this exact same moment that we have yet to touch and we may not ever touch. Like that's some deep ass shit to even think about, to even try to even comprehend. And that's how this shit works. So the idea that Donald Trump is going to be the president of America, as he, as it was first time, now his second time, people are seeing it from the physical perception or what we're seeing in this current, universe. And this is what it's going to be, and this is going to happen, and I'm afraid, and this is going to happen. I'm going to do that. But it's like this is what separates us magical people from the basic or the mundane, basic, okay, not basic, basic, or mundane world is that they get caught up and they get spellbound in the tricks and the games. As a spiritualist, we step back. As a spiritually inclined people, we step back. We're experiencing what everybody else is experiencing, but we step back and we assess and we evaluate what is happening and why is it important for us to experience it, and that's what's going on. And so people, they're afraid of what is to come, and I'm like, baby, you should have been afraid to come down here to live this life, period. Okay, but you were not, right? You were courageous, you were strong, you survived, right? You survived that journey from the other realm into this realm. And even physically speaking, you survived the journey through your father's testicles, the vast difference, through the urethra. You fought and swam through the vagina or the vaginal canal into the uterus, through the cervical wall, and climbed on up through the fallopian tube and met the ovum or met the egg and you came about. So there's a tremendous journey that happens spiritually and everything that you are to experience from the spiritual aspect of it is to make you greater than the one you was before this. So there's no being afraid. There's no worrying about and how this is going to play out. And oh my God, I should no. There's no doing that. Especially if you're claiming to be spiritually inclined. And that's why we're telling people. A lot of people be playing with that spiritual shit, and I'm not. I'm not a fan of it. Baby, listen, I will die for this. When I tell this right now, I stand 10 toes down, 10 hands up. I will die for this. There's no playing with spirit. There's no acting like I'm spiritually in tune. There's no playing like I know magic, that there's candle work and there's energy work that I can do, and I'm not going to fucking do it. Ain't no such thing as that. That is called delusion. That is called insanity. That is called mentally disturbed. That's called mentally fucked up. So it's about putting on your grown woman and grown man drawers and panties and face whatever it is that you decided to come through the face. Because you're not going to say that you believe in the power of spirit, but you don't understand reincarnation. You're not going to say that you believe in the power of losing ABCDFG, but you don't understand why you're here. Like I say, people start playing with these roles and these titles for some reason. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's, they watch too many magical movies and shit, and it gets them excited. So they're like, I'm gonna say that I'm spiritually connected because it just sounds cute to say I'm a witch or I'm a spiritualist. But it's like, girl, put your magic where your mouth is. Show me where you've beat the odds, and you have, because you're born. You clearly beat the odds then. But there's other things that happen in your life that show that you beat it some type of odd as well. Go back and revisit those experiences. All the shit you've been through, you made it, you survived it. Whatever's to come, you're going to survive it. Whatever's to come, you're going to be greater than you are today. And if you're great today, because you are great today, imagine what greatness you are going to acquire after all this. And that's the bottom line. That's a lot of the shit come to. Okay? And some of the people, oh, it's just all the time. It's just that, okay, listen, you are exactly where you're supposed to be at. Some people want to run away. They want to change their ultimate fate. But trust when I tell you that this was already predetermined. You were already predetermined to be exactly where you're at right now. And nothing is going to change unless you allow it to change. Unless you want it to change. Unless you want to be the glass half empty. If that's what your perception is of all this, baby, that's where you're going to be at. If you choose to see the glass as half full, then that's where your perception is going to be at. But what, like I said, I know that everybody is going to be greater during this experience and after, because things are being revealed to us, and we're not. Most of us not even paying attention to it. We don't really give a damn. We too tied in, and we too focused on the bullshit and who P Diddy is, and if he did it with a little girl and all that. Girl, bye. Some of y'all daddies are fucking pedophiles. Some of y'all grandfathers were pedophiles. Married your grandmother when she was 14, and your grandfather was 35. But you want about what fucking P Diddy and R Kelly did. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like it's deeper fish to fry. It's a deeper experience that is taking place. And like I said, even the organizations that are behind all this, those are things that you'll never understand. It's cute that they're talking about it because they're like, this could be you, but that's not you. And that's what it comes down to. So either way, y'all, that's it. Two spiritmystic.blogspot.com, 28spirit8mystic8 at gmail.com. And I'm going to go. Okay? It's about 1:29 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And listen, okay? Y'all, we're always doing what we got to do. Hello? Yes, girl, make it a do what it do. Okay? Anyway, y'all, love and light. And of course, I will see y'all the next video. Okay? Love and light and love and truth. Bye for now.